I've been trying to tell you all since the season started. Carla is that girl. Hit the like and subscribe button as the intro plays. All right, so we are back for season 18, episode 16 of Married at First Sight. And if you're new here, I make fun of people. If you don't like making fun of people, then you might as well click off the video now or just mute it because, the longer you watch, the better for me and the algorithm. La, 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 la. All right, so I also don't give all the details. I just talk about what comes to mind. But so the show starts with Michelle still on her Nancy Drew, still on her Inspector Gadget, still on her Columbo, still on her Murder, She Wrote. She is here for the fight, here to get the deets. And so she meets up with Madison, and Madison, she's looking at Madison like, you have something to say to me? You ready to talk? And Madison in her recruiter voice says, not if you're coming guns a-blazing, not if guns a-blazing, not if you are, No, Madison, you don't get to say how I come. You betrayed me. Remember that. So the whole thing with Madison, which I discovered, and I knew this from jump, she doesn't want to be seen as the bad guy. And that's the problem with people who don't want to be seen as a bad guy. They become the bad guys. So then, as Michelle's trying to talk to to Madison, David chimes in. Oh, now you want to talk, David? I mean, she's not a bad person, Michelle. David, with his animal-looking self, he wants to come in and chime in and support his girl Madison, who was so fine that he couldn't wait to eat her.
I like you, now won't you?
So then, Michelle decides to, go back and commiserate with the black girls, basically saying, I just feel mostly betrayed by Madison because I thought she was my friend. David, he's been lying all along. And and Camilla are like, yeah, we get it. I don't even know how to proceed from here with Madison. So they've all formed an alliance against Madison because she's a lying, dirty dog. Madison will lie to you. She's one of those people who will lie to you, looking you directly in the eyes and no flinch, no flicker. And they say you could tell somebody's lying by the way their eyes kind of dart away. But Madison, I can tell when she's lying by the way her mouth moves and the way she moves her head. She's like, so I could tell Madison was lying all along, but the fact that she is so fine with lying directly to your face.
You a professional liar.
And now she's feeling, the guilt. She doesn't want to be seen as the bad guy. And she just doesn't want to, she's just upset and it's making her feel bad because she didn't want to make Alan feel bad. Well, why? You should have thought about that. Week 1. Week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, week 6, when you had Alan buy $3,000 worth of clothes, when you convinced Alan to get Invisalign, you should have thought about that. So then she walks in, on David, looking like Animal from the Muppets. Once again, hair is all out. Curls are popping though, everybody. David has that definition that most girls want when they go natural. He has those popping curls, and he's texting. Is he texting Tiffany? No, he's not texting Tiffany. But he and Madison are trying to act like they didn't sleep together. So, David met up in the kitchen with Juan. And Juan is, being very neutral as Juan does. But basically, tells David in a subtle way, what you did wasn't right, bro. It wasn't right. I don't know how I could proceed with you. Because, hey, it's not cool what you did. If it were me, I wouldn't have, let it go on. So then, he meets up and he and Madison hug. Notice, Madison and David have not kissed. They are playing this to a T. And they act like they didn't sleep together last night, but they probably didn't because the pillows on the other side of the bed were still intact, like the bed had not been unmade. But David is, how'd you sleep, Madison, they're both, spinning the story once again, trying to act like they had not been mingling with each other, or they're acting like they hadn't been clapping cheeks with each other. But we know they have. I mean, because you just don't send a text message like that to someone you hadn't already sent a message like that to. I mean, you're so fine, I can't wait to eat you. That implies that he wants some more.
I made it.
So then, later they all congregate, the people who are still left, because Michelle and MM, they left in the middle of the night. They said they could not sleep there. And it was no reason to, because nothing else was going to happen on this so-called retreat. If I never want to go to a retreat like that. I really don't. So they're all in the kitchen. It's Camille, it's Thomas, and it's Juan. And Madison comes in trying to, fill out, test the water, see what everybody thinks. And then Carla comes in. This is why Carla's that girl. So Madison pulls Carla and Camille to the side to, see what their thoughts are and to tell them, David and I, we were just, we just discovered a few weeks ago that we had this bond. It all started in the gym. That's their thing. It all started in the gym. That's going to be their wedding, if they even get there, on their wedding announcement. It all started in the gym. They're going to get married at the gym. They're not getting married. They won't even last a year, I bet. But so she starts telling Carla and Camille everything, and Camille's just staring, listening. But Carla chimes in, basically like, look, I don't want people like you in my life. That's what she was saying. I'm interpreting Carla. I try to keep positive people around me. And the fact that you just lied to Michelle.
The lies. There you go, this bitch. The lies.
You had many opportunities to come clean. You did. And that's why Carla kept it real. Straight up, no chaser. I really have to think about this. How I want to proceed with you.
Mine tells me that she's a messy, tacky bitch.
And if you don't know, spoiler alert, shots of Michelle's birthday, all the girls were there except for Madison. So we see everybody picked a side, and it was definitely Michelle's. Say what you want to say about Michelle. Call her a B, call her a jerk, call her a-hole. But Michelle was not wrong in this matter. They betrayed her. Now, mind you, Michelle didn't care about David. But if more so, she was hurt by Madison lying directly to her face. And they rolled that beautiful beam footage of all the instances, too. All of it. She lied to them when they went to sound bowl healing with Carla. She was just lying. Lying.
None of it's true. It's BS. They made it up. They lied.
Lying Madison. And here's the thing. Madison was leaving. She packed up all her things and left David in the bedroom. David didn't even try to carry her things down the stairs for her. So good luck with this gentleman named David, who lives in the basement, Madison. He didn't even think enough of you to help you carry your stuff down. I mean, you are strong, probably stronger than him. So Madison leaves, and guess who arrives? Because I was thinking, what about Alan's car? Because he left in an Uber. So Alan shows up in another Uber to collect his car and to, talk to the guys. Alan was instantly poured with love from Carla and Camille. And he explained this case that basically, she had every opportunity to say, I don't want to be with you. Just be real with me. He could have been back out there looking, he said. He could have been in those streets finding somebody who really did want a man with a decent job, with a nice car, and who owned his own home and who redid his kitchen. So people say, I don't think he actually remodeled his kitchen himself with his own hands. I think he had people to do it, but everybody seems to think he did it himself. So then Alan meets up with Thomas and Juan, and they basically, shower him with love and tell him, you know what, if I have to pick a side, it's on your side. Thomas is a straight up type of guy. I'm down. I'm team Alan all the way. But then Alan, when he gets to the car, he goes off the rails. He's like, did they sleep in the bed together? And you're being a total masochist, Alan. But you know what? That's a natural question, because I had that question. We all had that question. Did they sleep in the same bed together? So then Alan leaves, goes back, and then David emerges coming into the kitchen, trying to fill out everybody. And you can see the look on Carla's face, how she feels. You are shady, David. Get out of my face. So then later on, Michelle's talking on the phone to Pastor Cal. She's giving him the rundown before Madison and David could get to him. And Pastor Cal is genuinely shocked. What? Madison? You had an inkling that it was Madison? Yes. What? And he admitted to it. What? Pastor Cal was taken aback. So I feel like Pastor Cal and them were not looking at the footage. I know Dr. Pia was. But so then later on, the remaining 4 at the house, at the retreat, they decide to play a game of horse. Camille wins. Then they decide to chat it up about, all of them being real and straight up with each other. Juan, are you really straight up with Carla? Well, he's straight up that he's not attracted to Carla, and Carla knows what it is. They're just trying to finish this process as smoothly as possible.
We can do it the easy way or the hard way. So the choice is yours, right?
Without all the drama that Madison and David caused. But so then later on, they rolled the beam footage. They showed that Madison and David were coming in at the same time to their shared apartments. They were like, we got it. We have 153, 343. We got you on tape.
Receipts, proof, timeline, screenshots.
No, Alan and Michelle meet up, and Alan says that Madison sent him a text message, and he's like, I don't want any contact with you. We're done. I don't need any explanation from you, because you basically led him on, Madison, and understandably so. If he don't want to speak to you, you won't get that closure you desire. People really desire closure. So we then see Alan tearing shit up in the apartment. He's doing some real. Now this is where Alan lost me. He lost points, but I have an inkling that production said, Alan, go in there and tear up some stuff. So he tears up the wedding book. Then he burns Madison's vows. He burns them and he leaves it. And he burns their wedding photo. He was doing some real single white male-ish. So then we see David meeting up with his friend Tommy at a bar, talking about, how he has his bond, it just totally turned, I'm not with my wife, I'm, this girl Madison. It all started at the gym. It's like, dude, she gets me. We're at the gym and I'm telling her stuff. I turn around, she's picking her fantasy football team. She likes to golf. She likes to play sports. Like, she likes to do all the stuff I like to do. See, that's the thing about men. Men always want the woman to do what they like to do. The first question is always, do you like football? No. Then what do we have in common? You like hip hop? I like hip hop. You like Martin? I like Martin. But why do I need to like football? Why do I need to like sports in order for us to have a bond? Can't we bond over something else besides sports? Do you want to be with a boy? Because that's what David sounded like. He's like, yeah, she's a boy. He wants to be with a boy.
I was a poor excuse for a woman.
Madison. They love a girl to be all into masculine things, but they want her to be a little feminine sex kitten. It's giving psycho, but let me get off that. So then we see Madison going into the shared apartment, and she discovers the damage that Alan has done. Like, it really looks like some psycho stuff, because you destroyed stuff. You didn't just like throw it in the trash. You burnt stuff. And when you burn things, that really shows there's some sort of mental disconnect. But I do believe that production made Alan do it. So Madison is on the phone with one of her friends, because we know how she feels about her friends, and she's feeling the brunt, because one thing she doesn't want to do is go meet up with the experts, and they read her to filth, and she doesn't want anybody to make her feel bad. But you know what? You deserve it. You do a dirty deed, you get a dirty slap in the face. That didn't make sense. So anyhow, we get on over to the main event, everybody. And everybody thought that the other stuff was the main event. No. MM meets with the experts. MM says, they said, well, we're trying to see if we can repair this relationship. Pastor Cal actually uttered those words out of his mouth. I wish y'all would stop Stop. You know it's over. You know these two, Ikeji and MM, are not a match. The only thing they have in common is African names. So they asked, the experts asked MM, do you want, how do you feel? And she says, my mother wants peace for him. I want the worst. Then old smug Ikechi walks in, doing Ikechi things, wearing his beanie. And I'm wearing my beanie in honor of Ikechi. No, it's cold here, and I just could not do my hair today. But Ikechi comes in, and he was like, look, I don't want the, same old, same old. So then MM pulls out a piece of paper. She wrote something to him. She said, basically, you're trash. You tried to make me look bad. You tried to mess up my character and humiliate me. I wish you the worst. I wish you the worst. And here is a document, a real document, unlike the one page you sent me. I wish you the worst.
Oh, don't make that face. Uh-oh.
And Dr. Pierce said, MM, you know that was shady. And MM just stared, well, that's what he deserved. So then, it's sad because Ikeji actually got the last word. See what I had to deal with? That's what I had to deal with right there. So then we come back to Madison and Alan now meeting with the experts. And Madison speaks about how hesitant she is. She doesn't want to be seen as the bad guy. Well, you are the bad guy, Madison. Deal with it. So they instantly go and start telling their scripted story that, it all started at the gym. We had a connection at the gym. I love her. I have a connection with her. And Pastor Cal pulls a, Madison, when we brought you in here, you said you wanted a Caucasian man to marry. So this thing ain't gonna last with David. This thing is not gonna last because I ultimately said that. I want a Caucasian man. And David's looking like, wow. So David's all in, but Madison still has one foot out. But I think she's just trying to save face because she's still in. But I don't think she's as in as David because she ultimately has a dream of having that Caucasian family. But you know what? That's how the episode ended. Oh, wait, no. And I would say the judges, the experts were like, you are not going to sit up here and lie to us and tell us that text message that says, you so fine, I want to eat you, was something new. This does not just happen. And David says, I was shooting my shot. You don't shoot your shot like that. I want to eat you. That is so cringy. They didn't buy it, but they let them tell that dumb story. They called them out on it, so I'll give the experts something, but they didn't buy it. So drop to the comments and tell me your thoughts. Do you think this relationship has been going on and on? Do you think that David already ate it and that's why he wanted to eat it again? Like and subscribe.